Hi guys, welcome back. So first video in my new studio here, and it's Italy versus England in the Women's Six Nations 2021. I'm following England in their journey in this Six Nations, and in doing so learning about the other teams with a view to following the World Cup next year. So England, yes, they cruise into the final, 62 points to 3, but it wasn't plain sailing, and Italy actually had the better of the first half, amazingly. Looking at that scoreline, you wouldn't think it, but Italy actually looked really good. And I'll say once again, remember, England are a fully professional side, Italy are amateur, and when the likes of Italy and Wales and Scotland become at least part-time, then we can start to compare the teams. Up until then, I'm not going to be giving Italy, Scotland, Wales, all those teams too much of a hard time, because when you're playing a professional team as an amateur, it's tough, and I thought they did really well, actually. And one of the things I was looking at were, who are England's best players? What's their best team going into the final, whether that's against France or maybe even Ireland? Ireland had a really good win, 45-0 against Wales, so hopefully they'll give France a really good challenge. Anyway, let's get into this game. Italy's skills were much sharper at the beginning, absolutely. England's physicality got themselves out of trouble, which is the benefit of professionalism. But Italy's handling was good, and England were making mistakes, which is very similar to what they were doing against Scotland. I think the coach would have been absolutely furious at half-time because England were not playing well. The pace of the Italian attack was excellent. The England defence, though, was strong. But Italy were the best team for the first 30 minutes, basically, even though England got 2 breakaway tries. First of all, Scarrett off a spilt ball, goes the length, goes 60 metres to score. Good pace there. Shows why she played England sevens. And then Italy, another loose ball on 31 minutes. Jones makes a break, who offloads to Fleetwood, and they get the score. So it's 12-0, even though they're the second best team. So a little fortunate there for England. And a yellow card for Scarrett as well, a little bit later. Italy do get on the scoreboard, though, with a penalty, 3 points to 12, which is, the least they deserve, to be honest. One thing I noticed straight away with playing Jones at 12 for England is they use her a lot as a first receiver. She's very skillful, almost as good as a 10 potentially, and then they can mix up and use Rowland as a runner as well sometimes, or wider out, which is a really good move, actually. I like that. Didn't work in the first half, definitely worked much better in the second half. Now, England turned down a 5-metre line out just before half-time, kicked a penalty because they're worried about Italy, really, because they're playing so well. On the 39th minute, Italy are swarming all over Dow. They hold her up, get a turnover. They also counter-ruck straight after that and finish the half really strong, even though they're down 3 points to 17. Brilliant half for Italy. England very poor, and I think they got an absolute rollicking at half-time because they came out much better. Straight away in the second half, much more pace onto England's attack, much more accuracy. Riley cleverly milks a penalty, so they kick another penalty a bit later. That's 3 points to 20. So Riley, let's just make a note of her. Her pass is so fast. She is a proper scrum half. I really rate her. Watching England women in the past, their scrum halves have been good, but their passes haven't been the best. Riley's definitely the best I have seen. And one thing I've noticed, though, they always pass back to Rowlands quite a lot to kick. I prefer them to kick out of 9 quite a lot so they can compete. So I think that's something they probably need to develop, putting a lot of pressure on Rowlands. Plus, of course, if you pass the ball back, that means your chase has to start a lot further back as well. Anyway, on 51 minutes, England are getting into their attack finally. Huge scrum, 5-metre line out, mixing up the attack, short, wide, slow, quick, very nice. Get another penalty. Italy go to the bin, almost inevitable from the pressure. And from the maul, quick pass to Dow. She's unmarked, goes in. 3 points to 27, starting to look a lot better. Matthews makes a really good weaving run on 57 minutes. And Jones and Scarrett combine very nicely to free Miller Mills. Good try. 3 points to 34. The game is over now. England are starting to fire. Jones really making England's attack fizz from that second receiver position. And eventually gaps opens up for Rowlands, and she skates through using her pace again as against Scotland, 3 points to 41. And at this point, 60 minutes in, England are really starting to shred Italy now. Poppy Cleall is on, playing absolutely fantastically well. Breaks into an outside centre position, hits the ball at pace and gives the pass at pace to Dow with a great finish. Just quality from Cleall and Dow there. 3 points to 48. The Cleall sisters have made a big impact, and indeed Bryony Cleall powers over on 69 minutes off a huge maul. And then the last score is McDonald, a nice snipe coming on off the bench. After a relentless attack, the gap opens and she spots it nicely. So it finishes 3 points to 62. So a big win for England. So a big win for England. They're going to be happy with that second half, not the first half at all. When they get into the final, they need to start fast and cut out those errors that they have made at times in their previous 2 games. Now, what's England's best 15? Love to know your thoughts on this, guys. Front row, I think it's Cornborough, Lark Davis and Bryony Cleall. Cockayne at 2 for England is very powerful, very strong, very experienced. That's close, but I think Davis has got a little bit more class. Brown coming in as an impact on the tight head would be good as well, but starting Bryony Cleall, I think she's high quality. She gets more and more game time. I think she'll be great. Second row, I want to see the heavyweight pairing of Miller-Mills and O'Donnell in there. O'Donnell really impressed me over both games. Maybe needs to go a fraction lower on the carry sometimes, but really powerful, hitting over the gain line. Exactly what you want from your big physical second row. Allcroft has done pretty well. She's kind of a second row / back row. Maybe not quite as quick as I'd like, but she's got the height and the line out. But the 2 outstanding flankers, I think, are Packer and Fleetwood. Even though they're a bit smaller, I'd still love to see them play together. So quick, absolute quality. And at 8, has to be Poppy Cleall, probably the best player in the world at the moment. So impressive. Got power, got pace, got hands, just got everything. I mean, Hunter, the captain, is fighting over Cleall for number 8 and really just isn't as good, to be honest. She's a bit older. Excellent leader, great player, good in the line out, but just compared to Poppy Cleall, there's no competition. And I don't think I'd play her in the back flanker. I don't think she's quite quick enough or quite big enough to play second row, but certainly have her on the bench as good experience. Half-backs, I'd stick with Riley and Rowland. Riley looks the real deal for sure. Rowland is a diamond in the rough, but just keep giving her game time. I think she's got all the skills, and just get her that experience and she'll be class. I really like Jones at 12 in this game. That double playmaker. She's got feet, she's got a kick, she's got a pass. Very impressive. And combine her with Scarrett, who didn't have her best game, although her goal kicking is class. So Jones and Scarrett. Wings, I'd go Dow and Breach as the best performing wings of these 2 games. And at fullback, I'd go McKenna. I think Kildun's an amazing runner, but McKenna's definitely a better all-round, I would say. Kildun on the bench is a good option. So anyway, that's my starting team for the final. Let me know what you think of the game and that team, and I'll catch you next time.